It's 2021 and it's time to update two things, Photoshop and our skills in Photoshop. I'm going to teach you the must, the necessary, the have to that you need, and the things that you must consider in order to get the best results in the least amount of time and editing work. 3 things you need. 1, a stool, chair, anything you can sit on. 2, you need a tripod, very important. Something that you can put your camera there and not move at all in between shots, very important. And 3, well, a camera. You can also use your phone though. Now, what do you must consider during the shoot? 3 things as well. 1, the light. You want the light to be consistent. You want to have the least amount of changes, if any, during your shoot. Why? Because otherwise afterwards you're gonna have differences in lighting, which you're gonna see in a bit, and it's gonna make things very messy, possible, but much more complicated. Extremely important, set the focus on the place that you're going to be floating, sitting, whatever. In manual mode, not auto mode, and leave it there for the rest of the shoot. Do not touch it, set the focus, and leave it there. If you just set your focus in auto mode, it might change during the shots that you're gonna take, and you're basically gonna regret it a lot. Do not change any settings in your camera once you start shooting. The most important and crucial thing during the shoot that you need to think and remember is you need to take 2 photos. 1 of the background, without you, the stool, the chair, no, just the background without anything else. And then you can take another picture, 1, 2, whatever, how many you want, to do the floating effect. I'm going to be using a tablet. You don't need it, but it certainly makes your life easier. If you are serious about photography, I highly recommend you get one. I'm gonna link one down in the description. That's the one I use. I have not needed to fix it, to send it back. It's worked great. Okay, time to edit. I import the pictures into Lightroom. You can use Photoshop right away. It really doesn't really matter that much. I like it doing it that way because I can send it back and forth within the apps, and then I don't have to create new files and all that stuff. And it makes it easier for me also to then use presets that I've made on the pictures to color grade and everything else. All those presets are going to be on sale very soon. Now remember, I told you to take a picture of the background. This is my background. I want her to be floating on top of this chair. So the background for me is that chair. This is not the chair that she's going to be standing on. She is standing on this stool. One thing to have in mind during the shoot as well is the clothing. If the clothing you have here is hiding the thing that you're sitting on, is going to make your life much easier during editing. So what I'm doing is I'm going to send these pictures, both of them, into Photoshop. Boom, select, edit in Photoshop. You can see that the background here actually has more light, which I told you to avoid. It happens. We're gonna have to deal with it, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to deal with it. So first things first, I'm going to grab this picture and drag it into this one. Boom. Now I have to make sure they are exactly the same on top of the other. So as you can tell, well, one, the light is a different light, which sucks, but you can tell that it's the same placement, where the floor and the wall meet are in the exact same place. Now the next step, you apply a layer mask onto the picture where you or your subject is standing on the stool or chair, and then you grab a soft round brush. Let me get my soft round brush, and I'm going to start to paint away. I'm going to do this for a second and be right back. What I can do as well is I can set this layer opacity lower so I see where the chair is at. In my case, there's a chair. In your case, maybe you don't have that, so that's one thing less that you need to worry about. Cool. Now I see that here there's a little bit of an indent of where the stool was. That's why I said if you can get some clothes to cover whatever you're sitting on, it's much easier. Now how do we fix that? Imagine you're sitting down and then your butt gets all squished onto the chair. So what you want to do here, you can make a copy of this layer, because I like to work non-destructively and I don't like the idea of messing up much, just so I have one in the background that I can always come back to. Right click on the layer mask and I'm gonna say apply layer mask. After I've done this, I'm going to go to filter and I'm going to go to liquify. Forward warp tool, and I'm going to slowly push back in the dress in this case, just to make sure it looks natural and there's not some weird shape in the clothing or even the body that should not be there. As you can tell here, I could have done a better job selecting or erasing the background image. You can spend more time. Right now, for the sake of the tutorial, I will just leave it like this. Press OK, and here we go. See, now that looks way better. So what if your background got messed up? I like this one already, so I wouldn't change anything. But if I had to, I could create here another layer mask, soft brush, and then make it a little bigger in this case. Grab color black, and then same thing, just paint here and let the background layer be visible. I don't really like how it looks on this one, so I'm just gonna delete this layer mask and just leave it as is. Now I could be finished here, but there's a bonus section today. I'm going to be adding, add something more than it's not just, oh look, I'm floating on this thing. I want to evoke something here. I'm trying to bring something more. So what I did, I went into Google, I downloaded this light leak here, and I'm going to grab it and drop it right on the picture. Now this looks like crap. So what I'm going to do is change the blend mode from normal into screen, because screen gets rid of the darks. Now this already looks promising. Takes up the whole screen. And then just play around and see where you want this. I don't want it to cover too much of the screen, but I kind of like that look. So I'm going to press enter. And it's a little too much for me, so I'm going to bring the opacity down. A little down, a little down. Now the colors. They're obviously very different. In the picture that we have, they're warmer tones, and this light leak is very blue. So what I'm going to do right now to make it blend better, I'm going to create an adjustment layer and hue saturation, and I'm going to press this little icon here, which is making a clipping mask. That means that this is only going to affect the layer underneath. Could make this change into any color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it into the warmer tones here. I think that's a little much. So we might play around a little more with saturation. Let's bring saturation down. I think that looks much better. That's before, that's after. I like this. I'm going to save this. One last little thing. I'm going to add my clean wash here because I like that look. I could be tweaking some things too here. Maybe I'll want a little warmer, a bit warmer. I want to add some more contrast into the picture. Preset added, and we are done. Let me show you. We went from this to this. Now all those presets are going to be on sale very soon. Let me know if you have any more questions down in the comments. Tag me on Instagram. This is my Instagram if you try this effect. This is my website. Check it out. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome week. Heck, have an amazing year. And I will see you in the next video.